Hey guys, Duke here. Free rune removal day is just 2 days away. So I want to give you some tips on how to rune your monsters to be most efficient. In particular, I want to talk about Monster Consolidation. So summoning is really fun, it's addicting, but what really makes a monster strong would be skill ups and runes. So it's actually much harder though to farm a perfect rune set for a monster than it is to make it 6-star. So most people end up with far more 6-star monsters than they have ideal rune sets. Devilmons are also the scarcest resource in Summoner's War. So it's oftentimes challenging to max out the skills of all of your Nat 5 and Nat 4 monsters. So one way to resolve both of these issues, again, it's called Monster Consolidation. And what you do is you build versatile monsters so you can use the same monster in multiple situations. That way you can focus all of your Devilmons and all of your best runes on just a few monsters. So let me give you a quick example of a few of these. So first of all, let's take a look at my storage. I only have out the monsters that I use basically on a daily basis. Notice that I only have maybe 23 6-star monsters actually out that are not in my storage. But if you look at my storage, I have over 70, I think, 6-star monsters. Now, it's not that these monsters that I've made 6-star are bad necessarily. It's simply that I have other teams that serve the same purpose as these monsters. When TOA and TOA hard come around, I pull out my TOA team and just knock out both of those once a month and just put them right back in storage so I have space to make fodder, etc. But you'll notice that I'm able to use very few monsters here out of all the monsters I have. And I have some great ones in storage, like Leo is excellent for AO. I simply don't need him because I'm able to use other teams to fulfill that same purpose. Likewise, Pungbait can do a whole lot of damage, but again, I don't need him for anything in particular. Same with Amir, etc. here. So let's take a closer look at actually some of the monsters I have that I do use in multiple situations. So there are monsters such as Lucians here. You notice I have 2 Lucians. And with these 2, I use them in many different situations. First of all, I use them with arena offense. I do use them in some Guild War offense as well. But if you look at my rune farming teams, if you look at Giants, for example, I have double Lucian. I also have Theomars and Hua, who have many other uses themselves. Theomars is great for PvP, so arena, whether it be offense, defense, Guild War offense, defense, great for rune farming teams, Hall of Heroes, useful in various situations, even in raids. Likewise, Hua here is useful in so many different places, raids especially, but also TOA, also PvP, also Giants. Hua is actually useful for Giants, and I do have a Giants B10 video if you're curious on how she can be useful. Let's look at another rune farming team. Oh look, it's Hua again. Oh look, it's Theomars again. Oh look, it's Galleon again. So notice that I can use the same monsters and put my best runes on them and then use them in multiple places. Perna here, I also use it sometimes in like Guild Wars and in raids as well. And Verd also is great for Guild Wars, TOA, besides dragons. Okay, you look at Necro and look, double Lucian, they show up yet again. So you notice that double Lucian, if I can use it in multiple situations, I can put my best runes on them, and I don't have to make dedicated mobs for each dungeon. Now, Necro does require probably 1 or 2 at least dedicated mobs, like Adrian, I only really use for Necro, because he's just so good for it. Rigel I use for Necro, but I can also use for raids. Same thing with Colleen. Colleen I use for Necro, and she is just amazing for raids. If you don't have a Colleen and you want a raid, please build one. So she's really, really excellent. And because I use each of these monsters, except for Adrian, in multiple places, I can just put my best runes on them, and I don't have to worry about ruining all those other monsters that I have in storage. So that's something to think about this free rune removal day, is how can you be more efficient with your Devilmons as well as your runes by consolidating them on the monsters that you use the most. I know it can be kind of sad to put away, great monsters in storage, just as I did with a lot of my Nat 5s here, but it will actually make you overall stronger if you have teams for all of the content that have better runes and have max skills. So hopefully you found this video useful. Like if you did, and subscribe to keep them coming. Thanks everyone.